Hey guys, NCWQ here. I thought that I would get on and do a video, show y'all something that I found. Fulton County Jail, where Trump is supposed to surrender, is under DOJ investigation. Just so y'all know, this is the jail where people were being treated inhumanely. They were sleeping in doggy style plastic trays. There was a guy, inmate LaShawn Thompson, who died in his cell covered in insects and filth. So this jail is under investigation. And yeah, but anyway, what surprised me was this fourth indictment out of Georgia. If I had to look at everything, the Constitution protects your right to free speech. Now, if you think very carefully, when you state that the Constitution protects your right to free speech, those rights were guaranteed by the Creator. They weren't created by mankind. They were guaranteed by the Creator. The right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, right to free speech, right to bear arms. All of these rights come from the Creator, whatever Creator you believe in. Um, Therefore, most of this is centered around free speech. It's Trump's right to say that he won the election. Whether or not he did, it's his right to say that he did. Um, there's just a lot of things going on in this country right now. It seems like every time Biden or his son is looked at and they find something wrong, a new charge is brought up against Trump. And it's very suspicious. If you look at what's going on, stand back and actually take a look, you'll see this. I have decided, and I am not a Democrat nor a Republican, but I have decided that if Trump makes it to election day, that I will most likely vote for Trump. I have watched him go through what I call a clown show. And the other thing about J6 and what they wanted to bring him up on charges with J6, well, if you think about January 6th, you'll think about back to the White House when they did the impeachment hearing and he was found innocent. So if they were to do it twice, that would be double jeopardy. So I think about that and I'm thinking, okay, that's a violation of rights right there. The right to not be tried twice for the same offense. Also, I don't see Trump as a terrorist. And that's what they're trying to say about him is that he is a terrorist, that he is a threat to this country, that he's a threat to everything. Uh, All I've seen of Trump is that he wants to fight for this country, that he cares about this country and he cares about the people. Now, there are other people that I see just as good to vote for, such as John F. Kennedy Jr. But I think that if I were to vote for him, I would only be voting for him because he was related to John F. Kennedy. I wouldn't be voting for him because I know his politics, because I know nothing about him. Let's see here. I don't like um, I don't like some of the people that are running for election. Hang on one second. Ron DeSantis is good, but I'm not sure that I like everything that he believes in. The people that are running for president as Democrats are Biden, Williamson, and Kennedy. Okay. That was John F. Kennedy I was just talking about. The Republicans that are running as Trump, Haley, Ramaswamy, Hutchinson, Elder, Scott, DeSantis, Pence, Christie, Bergman, Suarez, Hurd, and the third party person running is West. Now, If you look, you'll notice that a lot of the people that are running are people that have been in office already as governors, senators, whatnot. What I would really love to see is vote them all out. Let's start over. Let's start this country back with somebody in office who hasn't been, let's say, in the crocodile lair with all of the people that are there. Let's start with somebody who has nothing that they're gaining, nothing to earn, just good old politics of taking care of the people, for the people, by the people, we the people, if that makes sense. Yes, I sound like I am blabbering here. However, when I think about my rights and I think about everybody else's rights, I also think about my grandchildren growing up and what this country is becoming for them. When it comes down to parents can't even go to a school and state that they don't feel that their children are being taught the right things and being labeled as terrorists, that's a problem. It's gotten to where parents are afraid to speak up and say, hey, I don't agree with what you're teaching my child. I don't agree with what you're telling my child. You know, there are certain things that are taught in the home that I don't feel that should be taught at school. There are things that children can learn at school, but I think that school should be just for education. They should be for math, reading, arithmetic, math, um, social studies, science, history. And I also feel that history shouldn't be changed in the schools to be anything other than what has happened. When I was in school, when I was younger, I was taught world history, American history, social studies. I was taught everything I needed to know. And those things I feel are important for kids to know these days. When you're taking the history and you're changing it so that some people aren't offended by it, then you're actually rewriting the history so that people don't realize what the history is, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I was thinking about these things tonight, and our country is unique. We are still a young country, but we are also a country that can say enough is enough. We are a country that can come together and put our foot down and state that we want better for our people, our land, and what we believe in and what we deserve as a race, as a country, as a people. We need to come together and state that this government doesn't need to be interfering in our homes anymore. They are interfering. And on top of that, if you think about things, they need to put a cap on some stuff. Let me tell you what rental rates are here in North Carolina now. Rental rates have gotten so high that a two-bedroom apartment costs the same amount as buying a house per month. Okay, for your payment per month would be like $1,400. An apartment is $1,495 for a two-bedroom apartment, and it might not even be updated. They're raised the electric bills 35% in the middle of summer. Here I am, I get my electric bill expecting it to be the $96 it usually is. $190. I looked at it and I was like, what the heck? I haven't done anything different, changed nothing, done nothing different. And man, I'll tell you what, that shocked me. And I went on the Nextdoor app and I posted on there about how the electric rates went up and people have been talking about it because it's not just me, it's many, 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 many other people. And people are feeling it. The water bills went up. I usually pay $29 a month through my apartment complex. It was $38 this last month. Nothing different, not doing anything different. Um, I'm just watching things go up. Go to the grocery store and go shopping. If you're used to spending $200, well, guess what? You're only getting maybe $100 worth of food because the bills in the grocery store, the prices have gone up so much, you can't even afford to fill your cart anymore. What it used to take to feed a home is doubled. And I don't see the government stepping forward and trying to help lower the price. No, they're not. So people are working and working and working and working and working and working just to pay bills and not to have any time off and not to enjoy life. And the thing is it's sad because people used to work one job. The wife used to stay home and take care of the kids, and you'd have a balanced household. Now it's the mother and the father are working, the kids are in daycare or in school or at home by themselves after school if they're old enough to be. But the parents aren't just working when they have younger children. If you think about it, they're also paying for daycare to take care of those children while they're working. And sometimes the parents are working not just one, but two or three jobs. Imagine that. You're gone most of the time from your own family. Because why? They don't pay enough for people to be family anymore, to be home, to have home values. They don't pay enough anymore for people to just get by and have money left over to live. And that's one of the things that has become sad about this country. The just gotten to where people can't get by anymore. Like me, I had my rent was $700 the beginning of this year. Now my rent is close to $1,000. It went up almost $300 the beginning of this year. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I can barely manage already. And I went up $300 because the place I live at, I'm beginning to think that they're greedy. They have upped everybody's rent so much that people started moving out. This next year, I plan on leaving. Um, I'm already looking around at places and trying to figure out what I can do because I don't want to stay here anymore. I've been here 8 years and 6 months. And even though I've enjoyed where I'm living at, if the price goes up another 300, there's no way. It's too much. So anyways, I'm looking out the window right now and the sky looks gray. So let's see what the weather is. Uh, let's see. What's it look like out there? I do know sky looks gray. There looks like some storms, but I don't know if they're coming this way. Yeah, it looks like they might be. Looks like we might be in for a little bit of rain. Yeah. Okay, let's see what's going on with the hurricanes. Because there were some tropicals coming off of Africa. Got two of them. They're expected, that's 50%, and that was 50%. So they're coming off of the Cape of Africa here. Don't know where they're headed. This one is expecting to move westward and west northwestward at 10 miles per hour. And this one is moving the same direction at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, if this one forms and this one forms, then they'll probably, how you put it, the pressure from one will probably kill the other one. Let's just hope they both die out. Now let's look at Eastern Pacific here. You got Hillary and Fernanda. One of them needs to be watched out for. Um, this one here is going to come up towards, this is Hillary. It's going to come up towards California and it's going to hit as a tropical storm. So y'all need to be on watch if you live in California for this one to hit the area as a tropical storm. Let's see here. The area would be around here, which is Padres, Santa Barbara, Channel Islands region, Thousand Oaks. These areas down here need to keep an eye out for this to become a tropical storm into this area down here. So let's see something else here. As you can see here, this is where this is expected to come up through. So it will affect this area, and the winds that you'll get from there on the outer area as it comes up, that you'll start getting the 10-mile-an-hour winds, and then you'll get the 20 to 30-mile-an-hour winds, and then upwards of 40-mile-an-hour winds as it comes closer. This one is moving away to the west, and this one is coming north. Now let's see here. 1 p.m. Monday is when you should expect it to be California. So that is something to keep an eye on. Okay, let's check some earthquakes. See if there's been anything else today since that 6.3. Already got the South of Tonga. 6.5. Don't see anything else big that's occurred. Anyways, you guys, thanks for letting me rant. I honestly, the only nomination that I would give, the only two people that I would think about voting for would be Kennedy and Trump and DeSantis. I don't know who West is. And I really don't know the other ones. I don't like Chris Christie. Definitely not going to vote for Biden. Sorry. I think he made our country look weak. And I think that I just, I don't know. I don't like him. But the three that I look at is Kennedy, Trump, and DeSantis. Whoever's the best for our country, whoever has the best policies, those are the ones that I look at. But don't ever vote for a person just because of their name. Just because John F. Kennedy Jr. is related to the Kennedys doesn't mean that he's going to be great for the job. Make sure you research who you're going to vote for first. That is what I plan to do, is do my research. But with what's been going on with Trump, I'm beginning to think that he really is being attacked because let's face it, a while back, Biden stated that he was going to do everything in his power to make sure that Trump was not elected. And I've heard that several times. One second. It was November 9th, 2022. And it came from the Hill. And it's right here. Biden suggests Trump will not take power again if he runs in 2024. And it was by Alex Gangitano. And it says President Biden on Wednesday suggested that if former President Trump opts to run in 2024, he would not make it to the White House for a second term. Biden's comments came just 2 days after Trump teased he would make a very big announcement early next week after reports emerged that was considering announcing another bid for president in the hours before voters cast their ballots for in the midterms. So this article came out 11/9/22 at 5:32 p.m. So if you look at it, you got to wonder, did he mean it? And what about all of these different, 4 different charges by different places against Trump? 4 different indictments. How many is needed? And when is freedom of speech no longer a right? Freedom of speech. If I say, I feel I won the election, or I know I won the election, that's my right to say so. I'm not running for election, but I'm just using an example here. And I can look back at numerous times when presidents actually asked for a recount of the votes. I can look at numerous times when presidents didn't secede the election until they had votes recounted. And I'm sorry, I don't see anything different here than with any other election. I just don't. Anyways, maybe it's just me. All right, you guys, I've run my mouth long enough. This is NCWQ. I hope y'all are having a great night. Please be safe. Take good care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Remember to love one another. And remember, freedom isn't free. Much love.